Hey everyone, this is Jax again from the Popcorn Review Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. This is going to be my episode 10 for 4/7 for Monday Night Raw. Back to a normal time again. So hopefully a lot of people were able to catch it. I feel like there was a lot going on in this episode here, to be honest with you. Started off with Adam Pearce there, or at least part of the segment was Adam Pearce starts off the night, calls out Io Sky. The belt's already kind of like on display in the ring. He then calls out Bianca Belair, and then he then calls out Mommy there, Rhea Ripley. And just like I mentioned it's going to be a three-way. Not sure if everybody saw that coming, but I definitely been saying it for the past few weeks. It's a better match with the three of them in it. Through that segment there, you did see Bianca really upset, emotionally upset, definitely showing that she's not liking this. Like whatever put her in there. It's not like she just had to go through the elimination chamber, like kind of pretty much saying everything that she had to do, saying that she's just gonna walk into the ring and be at WrestleMania just cause she's Rhea Ripley. Definitely looked like a little heelish there going, so that might be part of what I said. She might turn heel in WrestleMania, possibly steal one there. Um, she signed the contract, kind of either toss it or push it into Rhea's chest there. Rhea took it, signed it, tossed it back at her. Io Sky tries to get into it once again. They kind of muff her again. Rhea Ripley kind of mushed her face over. Kind of the same thing has been going on. Definitely showing some disrespect to the champion there. Io about to walk out of the ring. Springboards, you know, um, drop kicks Rhea into Bianca Belair, taking them both out, saying that she's the champ again, takes her belt and walks off. Just, I'm the champ type of deal. Like I said, much better match with the three of them in it. Um, Makes the most sense, to be honest with you. I feel like there's more star power in that match if the three of them are together. Rhea and Belair definitely would have been a good match. Io Sky by herself with one of those girls, don't see it being a better match. But with the three of them, is definitely going to put a lot of eyes on that match. There was an announcement there for the four-way for the IC title as well. Looks like it's going to be Penta, Dom, Braun Breaker, that monster, and Finn Balor. Looks like Liv Morgan was able to talk to Adam Pearce and kind of put Dom in there, and you saw Finn Balor kind of talk about it, that he had no idea that Dom wanted to go for the title, that if he would have known, he would have helped him. But then he kind of like starts belittling Dom at the same thing, like, oh well, Dom, a lot of people say you haven't earned it. You don't have respect for the business, that you're not capable of winning the title. Kind of shitting on him, if anything. And then you kind of see like, Liv Morgan's kind of laughing about it, like, yeah, as long as somebody brings the title back, doesn't matter who, like definitely pushing for her boy Dom there. Um, I mean, the way it's sounding though, maybe Dom could steal one at WrestleMania. He did have the North American title from NXT for a little while. I mean, if he could bring a title, even if it's the IC, he's definitely going to be stealing it from those guys because they're all a much better wrestler than him. Penta's already a much better wrestler in WWE. Braun Breaker is a hell of a lot better wrestler, and then Finn Balor's just amazing out there. Definitely going to be a nice match to see the four of them. Who knows? Maybe Dom will steal one at WrestleMania. It'd be nice to see a singles title. Yeah, he's going to have some help from the Judgment Day, like they always do. But we'll see how that plays out. Later on, you had Bayley versus Lyra. Like I said, this would have made kind of push Bayley to be like another finish off her Grand Slam run. She needs the U.S. Women's and the U.S. IC. Pretty decent match. They were going back and forth, to be honest with you. Lyra still looks like she's trying to find herself, and Bayley is definitely a good person to put her in the ring with. I will say, though, Bayley was taking some pretty hard bumps there. When she got drop kicked outside the ring, she threw herself back. Whether that was herself throwing herself back or maybe she just caught the move a little too hard, definitely like she was taking a lot of bumps there, some hard bumps there. Bayley, for a while, I thought she had it like almost like in a Boston Crab or a Lion Tamer or Walls of Jericho. So it looked like she was definitely about to make her tap, kind of let go of that. Got rolled up there, lost the match there. Definitely a good person to put her in the ring with Lyra. Just shows that she's able to beat a big caliber wrestler. Bailey's been there for a long time. So it makes sense that she's going to put people over. She's already had her time to shine. Of course, I see Bailey winning the title in the future. But again, let's put these young people over, build some new stars. Makes a lot of sense. At the end, though, they went to go shake hands. She kind of smacked her hand away, went to walk out. Again, that heelish Bailey. It's possible we might see her sooner than later. She did later does come back, hugs her, raises her hand, and then walks off. Kind of gives the girl her props. So that was nice to see there. A lot going on this episode. Like I was saying, American Made had a interruption of an interview in the back. Talked about how he can't wrestle, that he knows people there to see him, but Chad Gable can't wrestle. But you know, the mass luchador is going to team up with the American Made there. Again, guys, it's a bad name. I'm not going to say it. It is what it is. They kind of broke off from there. AJ Styles keeps having like interruptions from Karrion Kross when he has his interviews. It sounds like um they're gonna have a match where they announce, Karrion was like, nah man, you gotta win that match. We need you to win that match. And he was like, I need the AJ Styles of old, not this new AJ Styles. I need the AJ Styles of old. So he was like, so you want to see that AJ Styles? He was like, I'll see you next week. So we haven't seen Karrion Kross do a lot. He's been kind of like that little devil on your shoulder, just talking, trying to get you to do things. So he's gonna be wrestling. Haven't seen him in a minute, to be honest with you. So it's gonna be nice to see. Um, Later on, we had LWO versus American Made with Chad Gable in a mask. Again, sounds like the crowd is loving this. I personally feel like they could have done a better name, um, better ring gear. It's a pretty cheap idea. You know, LWO kept saying, "Chad, I'm gonna rip your mask off," and the two Creed brothers like, "That's not Chad. That's not Chad." Pretty stupid. But I will say LWO was putting on some crazy phenomenal moves in this match. Then they were like triple teaming them in the corners, like they were all taking turns, kind of running across from each other, doing crisscrossing and all that. That was amazing to see. Just three acrobatic ass guys going at it, taking care of business. Later on, you did see like a triple suplex, like each of the American made team suplex one of the guys out from LWO into the ring. So they were just putting on a clinic, to be honest with you. This match was better than I expected. Um, Corkscrew off the top rope outside the ring. Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Um, these guys were just on point. Great match. Of course, American Made's going to cheat. They gave him some type of metal plate to put in his mask. He headbutts Rey Mysterio, does a flying headbutt onto Dragon Lee, if I'm not mistaken. And in theory, if you had a metal plate in your head, even if you hit someone else, you're going to hurt yourself. So really, that was very comedic or comedy driven. In theory, you should almost kill yourself doing something like that. Um, Again, American Made with Chad Gable on the mask win. It is what it is. I'm actually tired of this gimmick already, but it sounded like the fans loved it. I am 100% against it. I think it's one of the dumbest things ever, but the fans love it, guys. I'm surprised by that. It's really weird to me. I feel like WWE again. You could have had a better name. El Grande Americano. Like, come on, guys. Again, Starbucks retired drink. Let's do better. Y'all, I got all this creative. Let's do better. Let's do better. Let's do better. We had a few things going on still. You had a DX recap, showing Triple H is about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's kind of nice to see that. I grew up during the Attitude Era, seeing Triple H, China, the New Age Outlaws, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Badass Billy Gunn, kind of reminiscing those times. So it was definitely nice to see. Um, Triple H originally didn't even want to put himself in the Hall of Fame, but he kind of got voted in by his peers. So that was actually nice to see, you know, putting his work out there and showing that the people around him respect him enough to vote him in, even if he thinks like he should vote someone else in. So that's really nice to see. After that DX recap, we did have Gunther come into the ring. And then, Jay Uso comes out. dressed in all black, not playing any game, showing a different demeanor coming into the ring. He wasn't dancing with the crowd. He still walked through the crowd, but he wasn't dancing or nothing to that effect. The man was all business. He gets in the ring, pretty much starts talking to, well, Gunther goes to put the mic to his mouth. Jay slaps it out of there, not letting the man talk. He pretty much tells Gunther, like he had to call his mom because, he had to tell his mom that his older brother was injured, got hurt because of him, and he said that he never lied to his mom once before. He's not going to do it now. And he told his mom, that I'm scared of Gunther. I'm scared of you, Gunther, or at least I was. And he pretty much tells Gunther, like, what you did to me, I'm gonna take it out on you. I'm gonna get back what you did to my family. You made my mother cry. You put my brother in the hospital. I'm coming for you at WrestleMania. Pretty much telling Gunther, I ain't scared of you no more. That shit not gonna happen. Um, with that being said, he pretty much tells Gunther, like, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna take your head off. You better bring your A game. This is the Jey Uso that Jimmy wanted to see. Main event Jey Uso, that seriousness. Yeah, the fans are dancing, but like I said, all dressed in black. He wasn't trying to match the city. He wasn't trying to do none of that. He was just trying to be all business, all black. Like he was trying to be in there, like, I'm gonna take this type of deal. We did have a few recaps, or we had a recap of Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Punk. Punk finally gave his answer that, he wants Paul Heyman to be by his side at WrestleMania, walk him down the aisle. What he promised him, like 13 years ago or longer, something to that effect. And Roman tried to laugh it off, like, man, would you tell this man, let him down gently type of deal? And then Paul tells him, no, I can't do that, my tribal chief. Like, he's my best friend type of deal. I'm going to give him what he wants. And that kind of played out, Punk attacks Roman right there, and Paul Heyman is in tears on his knees, like, what did I just do type of deal. Pretty crazy. Didn't watch Friday Night SmackDown. Seems like I missed a lot over there, at least the closing segment there. Going to be a good match, like I said, the three of them. But we'll get back to that in a little bit. There is the New Day versus the War Raiders. Decent match. I feel like the War Raiders are always a good team, to be honest with you. They pull off things for that. As big as they are, they really shouldn't be doing. Um, they started getting the better of the New Day, or the New Day, whatever they're calling them. And to be honest with you, it was a little crazy. They brought the ladder into the ring. I think it was Ivar took it and then hit him in the stomach just as the referee turned around, disqualification. The New Day beat the War Raiders down, and you hear the War Raiders saying, or sorry, the New Day saying, I don't care about their injured neck. I don't care if they had surgery. We're the real champions because we didn't get disqualified type of deal. So that I can definitely be that seeing on one of the days on WrestleMania now. Put them out there, New Day versus the War Raiders. Really not liking what the New Day is doing, but I can see them winning maybe a tag title shot for a little while. And if Big E does come back, maybe he's the one who takes it from them or costs them the title. So we'll see if that plays out. We had a few more things for this week. We had you had Penta there versus Dom. Love. I always gotta say I love Penta's gear. Love the different colors he puts together. One of my favorite ones that he had in AEW was like a metallic blue. This one was close to that. I would say, please bring back Penta, bring back that metallic blue or the gold. Those are probably some of the best ones you had. This one was pretty nice. Again, I love your entrance. Your moves are insane. Um, Pretty good match there. Dom for a little while was getting over on him. Carlito tries to get into the match. Penta does end up winning that match there, but just all hell breaks loose after the match. That's when all the action really happened in my eyes. You see Finn get in there. They start attacking. They start. Well, not Finn actually. Finn comes later. You see that Carlito and Dom start beating down on Penta. Braun Breaker, that animal, that dog's music hits. You see him drop his title and run down that aisle there. Man, that dude flew and speared the shit out of Carlito. Rolled off, goes back into the ring, and just starts going on a spearing frenzy. He speared Dom. He speared Penta, which I'm surprised. I thought he was there to help Penta, but he's pretty much saying, y'all got to beat me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the champ. Don't forget it type of deal. You then see Finn Balor come in like a sneaky little weasel that he is, drops Braun there, looks over at Penta, tells him in Spanish like, "This is my title, carnal. This is my title," type of deal. Um, looks over at Dom, doesn't even pay Dom any attention, and just like stands over Braun there. Um, I believe Braun tried to hit him with the spear, and he kind of dips off from there. Gonna be a pretty good match, an explosive match with Braun there. It looks like three high flyers for the most part versus just a powerhouse there with Braun. Like I mentioned earlier, I can definitely see Dom kind of stealing this one, maybe getting a roll up on Finn, or Finn and Dom just arguing, and then that's how the match is lost. Or the Judgment Day finally turns on Finn Balor, and he moves on from there. The end of the show ended though with Paul Heyman coming to the ring. Before Paul Heyman has a chance to say a word, though, "Burn It Down." Seth Rollins music hits, comes to the ring, looking like an old school pimp. Had the long jacket on, white leather boots, and some bell bottoms. The only thing that man was missing was his gold chain and a hat, but he was dressed up like a pimp in my eyes. He walks down the ring, you know, kind of talks to Paul there, and Paul says that he will never he's loyal to Roman, he's loyal to Punk, he will never betray none of these guys, that no matter what, he'll be loyal till pretty much the day he dies type of deal. And then there you got Seth Rollins trying to be like the devil advocate there, like, whose side are you really on? Are you on Roman's side or are you on Seth's side? You can't have it both, or sorry, not Seth's side, or Punk's side. You can't have it both ways. And then he kind of starts like pushing on starts kind of pushing on Paul. Like, how much is your life worth? Like this much. Starts pushing him slowly, starts pushing him around. Then when he gets him in the corner, boom, you hear not Seth, you see your CM Punk's music hits. And then he's waiting for him. They start going at it. He gets the better of Punk, hits him with that curb stomp, and then he's celebrating in the corner. You do see Paul Heyman kind of reach over, kind of upset that this happened to him, kind of upset that, Punk was in this situation because of him. And all of a sudden, you see him turn around almost like Randy Orton, with the voices in his head, about to run up and give him a curb stomp, and like stomps like about maybe a foot away from him. And Paul Heyman kind of jumps back and he goes, "Now you owe me a favor." Holy shit. Wouldn't it be crazy? Like I mentioned it in my videos before, that Paul Heyman is going to play a big part, a huge part in this match. He's either going to cause someone the match, and I thought he was going to win, go with Punk and screw over Roman. But what if, guys, if he screws over both Punk and Roman and joins with Seth? Wow, that'd be an amazing turnaround, because you're thinking that he's there to help, you know, Punk, but he wants to be by his tribal chief side. What if he screws over both because now he owes Seth Rollins a favor? Man, guys, that is crazy to me. That after all this, back and forth, oh, I'm loyal to Punk, I'm loyal to Roman, I love both these guys, but now he owes Seth Rollins a favor. Will Seth say what that favor is before Mania, or will he wait till that day to pull out that reverse card, or draw a 4 card and say, hey, now you owe me that favor, like, let's go. So we'll see how that plays out, guys. Again, this is Jax from the Popcorn Review Podcast.